Hello friends, this is Raj Sastri from Raj Option Trading. Today is July 17, 2021. I want to talk about a company called Sumo Logic. It's a software company, they're into software infrastructure. So with that in mind, here is the image from Sumo Logic website. They're into monitoring, troubleshooting, observability type software. Any large corporation, they want to see what's going on in their network. So this company tells you the CPU utilization, memory utilization, instance types, and a lot of good data. I think it's very vital for any company to see what's going on in their network and in their internet connections. So with that, let's dive into Sumo Logic and see if it's ripe to pick at this time. So if you look through this company, it's a pioneer in continuous intelligence. It's a new category of software, and it also looks to address data challenges and opportunities. So with that, there is a big shift right now. Folks are shifting into cloud computing, and more companies are really opting for cloud computing. That's resulting in a data tsunami. There is a lot of data. This company helps to make sense of the data and make sure companies can really drive differentiated experience. Their mission is to create a leading machine learning and data analytics platform. I think they got a good dashboard here. Many companies love their dashboard. And also, as you look through here, they're also helping with the intelligence economy. The intelligence analytics insights is table stake these days. Every company should have these things, otherwise you cannot compete effectively. And these guys are really trying to be different with this continuous intelligence platform, real-time insights delivered across multiple use cases. So with that, we got a CEO here, Ramin Sayer. According to Glassdoor, he's got 87% approval rate and also 65% recommend this company to a friend. So the recommendation is really out of 211 ratings. It's a lot of people who rated this CEO. I think overall 87% or 3.6 rating is pretty good. I think the company is doing something right here. As you look through the customers here, you got few customers here. They got a lot of great customers. Here you got Carlytics, Genesis, Freshworks, Pokemon, and they got a lot more, including Adobe. So with that, let's jump in here and look at some customer testimonies. So Pokemon, they got hundreds of millions of customers. Any security breach would be devastating. That's why they love to use Sumo Logic to really make sure they protect the customer information. So this is according to John, who is the director of IT. And then we got Alta. Everybody knows Alta Beauty. It's one of the great companies, and they are into Sumo Dashboard. This company, according to them, VP, they are addicted to Sumo Dashboard because it helps them to streamline operations, proactively identify product trends and whatnot. So this is a great recommendation or a great testimony from the Ulta Beauty CEO. It's good to see big companies like Ulta Beauty, they're leveraging Sumo Logic. And then you got Clorox, again a big company. They did very well last year. This company also uses Sumo Logic dashboard to find needles in the haystacks. And they say haystacks because it's not one haystack. There could be, there are multiple haystacks. So this is again, senior threat protection lead. So it looks like this company is doing well. Their dashboard seems to be pretty hit. And then you got Lending Tree, one of the famous credit companies, and they're deploying Kubernetes and also looking at Sumo Logic for the cloud neutrality. So I think it's a good story. A lot of great companies are leveraging Sumo Logic. It's good to see companies really getting started here. If you look at their profile here, Sumo Logic provides cloud native software as a service platform, and they really help to automate the collection, ingestion, analysis of application infrastructure, security, and provide or derive actionable insights. So this big data To really understand what's going on in your infrastructure, it's really key. It can help with actionable insight like what Alta is talking about, and also help to really find out what the threat around security threat and whatnot. So with that, stock price is 1995 below 20. It's relatively a cheap stock price, and also market cap is 2 billion. This is a sweet spot here. About $2 billion is really small to mid cap type range. I think these companies can really take off pretty nicely. And if you look at the CEO here, CEO Ramin brings 20 years of industry experience, and he has worked in multiple small and large corporations. Looks like he has been in multiple software companies, including VMware, and he led fastest growing business within VMware. He was in HP, Mercury, iPlanet, to name few. I think overall CEO checks out, has got relevant software industry experience. From a stock perspective, as you can see here, they went IPO sometimes last year in September timeframe, and stock came down, went up nicely, came down. Now they're trying to see where to go. I think this is a good time to really buy. As you see here, stock is kind of trying to search for direction. I see higher highs as you can see here and higher lows. This could be a good time to really jump in, buy some Sumo Logic. So as you see here, they got some great news. Sumo Logic accelerates the expansion across Japan to meet the demand. And it's also named as a visionary in 2021 Gartner Magic Quadrant in the IT event management area. And they're also under the radar AI based security platform. So overall you can see here, people are really really thinking great about this company, and company doing something right. But Wall Street really is not understanding this company well, so stock is sold off as you can see here. At this time it's really good to buy some stock and hold for a long time. And as you look through the competition here, we got great competitors for Sumo Logic. Some of these companies may not be direct competitors, but all these guys are into data collection, data analysis. And as you look through here, you got Talent. It went IPO a couple years ago, $65 stock. Almost, it's at actually 52-week high right now, and they've done nicely. Last 6 months they've done 65%, they've done 82% in 1 year. And companies got okay growth, 13% sales growth and 17% quarter over quarter, and nice gross margin. I like it. And institutions are also buying into this company. And then you got Dynatrace here. One of my favorite. It's a $58 stock here. Has better growth than Talent, as you can see here. And they got a net profit margin here. Company is really profitable, making some money end of the day. And RSI is 51, still okay to buy at this time. And they got a lot of institutional ownership. And I also like Datadog and Elastic here. Both of these companies got nice sales growth, as you can see here, and nice gross margin. I love these two companies. And then finally, our stock that we are talking about today, Sumo Logic. Sumo Logic, $19 stock here, and they've done nicely, $210 million in sales. Nice gross margin, 73%. Net margin is negative. It's okay for these companies to have net margin negative because they're still working through and proving their platform. And stock is down 35% for last 6 months, and it's down 57% from 52-week high. As you see here, RSI is 44. That tells you at this point it's good to buy this company. It's oversold at this time. It's okay to buy. And last but not least, we got AYX, Alter Risk, and this company is also a great data company. And as you can see here, company sold off pretty hard, 36% in 6 months, negative 36%. And stock is trying to get its groove back slowly. This is okay to buy, slowly and hold also. So with that, right now we'll talk about Sumo Logic in detail. I want to make sure you understand some of these competitors, and it's okay to buy some of these competitors, especially ones with a nice sales growth and RSI, typically lower RSI, like for example AYX or even Dynatrace, and and even Datadog for that matter. It's a little high RSI, but it's okay to buy. Elastic is again a great one. And now we'll jump into Sumo Logic. From a quick statistics perspective, looks like they got good analyst ratings here. A analyst here rated as a buy, $46 target, and many of these guys have rated outperform, as you can see here. From an earnings per share perspective, looks like it's a negative at this time. Understandable, companies really putting money into their R&D. That's why they're not showing profit yet. Nice sales growth. I love this sales growth here. Very nice clip here, very consistent. That's the way to go. And shares outstanding is dropping. I love shares outstanding dropping. It's a great sign. And as you look through here, it's a $2 billion market cap right now, $19 stock. Nice gross margin. They don't have too much debt, as you can see here. And RSI is 44, tells you can buy this at this time. Nice entry position here. A lot of institutions are backing this company. Very low short ratio. And as you see, your valuation is not high, it's pretty reasonable. And stock has been sold off in last 6 months and is trying to make a small comeback, as you can see here. And very good, the trading volume here, 1.1 million shares traded on Friday, and nice trading volume in last 3 months. They got a lot of cash, as you can see here. They're not going to run out of cash, and very low debt. And right now free cash flow is negative. Stock has been below the 20-day moving average. They're at 50-day moving average right now, and they're below that 120 and 200-day moving average, as you can see here. With that, I feel like it's a good company. Nice sales growth. I love it. They are trying to reduce their shares outstanding. So with that, I think with the low RSI, positive sales growth, as you can see here, I would probably pick some stock up on this pullback and take it from there. And now let's look at the fundamentals of this company. $19 stock, 1995, almost $20. Market cap is $2.15 billion. As you see here, they've been doing pretty okay. Stock was $17 while ago, became $33. Now it is 19. It was 19 back in 430. Right now it's 19. So as you can see, a stock is really going up and down. Right now it's kind of consolidating and trying to see where to go at this point. Sales is pretty good, as you can see here, $54 million in sales. Pretty nice, consistent. And they have been surprising Wall Street with the revenue surprises. It's pretty nice to see in last 3 quarters they have given positive surprise to Wall Street when it comes to revenue. And they also give positive surprise when it comes to earnings per share. It's also good, so that way there's no negative surprise here. And as you scan through here, they got some debt which is manageable. They got a lot of good cash, as you can see here. And as the margin is negative at this time when it comes to operating and net margin, but gross margin is pretty good. I think it's very important to have a great gross margin, especially for software companies like Sumo Logic. And they're putting money into R&D. I think they got to do it. They got to compete and outcompete the competitors. Right now they're putting $20 million, as you can see here, in 430 a quarter. So with that, as you see here, price to sales ratio is pretty reasonable. I would really like to buy this company on this pullback and hold for a while. And now let's look at the performance of this company. As you look through 1 year performance, it's about negative 26%. In 2020, they did pretty okay, 31% positive. And if you look at the monthly performance, as you see here, they've done really bad back in October as they became IPO. Then the company shot up pretty nicely here. November, December, January, and February, March it was down. April it went up a little bit, gave all of it back in May. They went up in June, and July they're giving it back a little bit. So I think at this point it's okay to buy a little bit and hold for a while. And now let's look at the weekly performance of Sumo Logic here. As you see here, it's up and down type stock here. It was down back in February March time frame, went up a little bit, went down, went up. So this is one of those stocks where you got to catch it when it's down and wait for a nice bounce back. And if you look at the daily performance here, last couple of days they've been doing really badly. As you see here, now they, on 16th, which is last Friday, they tried to make a small comeback. So with that, I would buy this company on any pullbacks and hold it for a while. And now let's look at technical analysis here of Sumo. So as you see here, nice looking chart. Went up, came down. This is earnings here. After the earnings, stock came down a little bit, big red candle, came down, then went up. And earnings here again, stock is kind of trading sideways, and earnings again, and stock is trying to make a small comeback, but in the trading range. So stock chart perspective right now, it's kind of in a trading range for last last month or so. And from a RSI perspective, relative strength index perspective, it's trying to show some improvement, as you can see here. It's good to see racing RSI. When the RSI is below 50 and tries to go up, that tells you companies trying to gain some momentum here. From an implied wall perspective, right now, implied wall is below historic wall, which is okay, not too bad. And if you see the IV percentile, it's 51.4. So if you want to sell some put options or premium selling, you could do that below the current stock price. It's one way to play. And because stock price is so low, I would buy stock instead. It's not a good idea to buy call options here, especially because IV percentile is high. You're going to pay more premium if you buy call option here. But if you want to sell some call option at a higher price, you could do that and collect some premium. But if the stock goes up, you'll be losing money. So with that, from a DMI perspective, as you see here, red line above the blue line, that tells you right now stock is bearish. And its distance between the red line and the blue line is not too much. Red line wants to come down a little bit, blue line wants to go up. That tells you there is some bullishness, even though currently it's a bearish. And as you look at the volume average here on the balance volume, it's nice volume. It's trying to go up, as you can see here. It came down a little bit, trying to go up. And the smart money is actually flowing into the stock. It went up, came down. Now it's trying to go up or a little bit steady at this time. So I would, it's a really good chart, is a little ugly. Trying to make a small comeback here. Probably I would buy some stock, at this time. I think it's a good one from a technical perspective also. And if you look at the options market here, this is an option chain for Sumo, and I got an indicator here for current stock price around $20. If you look at the call options here, above 20, you see a lot of open interest, as you see here. 1,000, 2,000, 1,900. So this is above current stock price. At 22.5, 25, even 30, we got a nice volume here. And even at 40, we got a nice call volume. So there are a lot of people in the options market trying to bet this stock will go up. And as you scan through the put side here, as you see here, we got some folks buying some put option here at 15, 17.5, even 20, and 22.5, and even 25. So nice, put volume also. Actually, I was looking at different thing. You look at the volume here. So open interest on the put side right here. It's not too much, as you can see here. So there is more call volume. look at the open interest here compared to the put volume. That tells you in the options market, folks are really betting this stock will go up. Now, if you look at the option statistics here, see here we got 1,815 contracts traded for on the call side of the house, and 216 contracts traded on the put side of the house. That makes the put call ratio 0.119. That's a very low ratio. That tells you there are more calls than puts. It's actually a lot more calls than puts, which is a positive indicator. So with that, I would really, buy some stock itself, because as you can see here, IV percentile is very high. I would not, I would not buy any call options because IV percentile is high at this time. So if you look at the last quarterly earnings that company announced, they basically did a beat on the earnings per share side by 1 cent, and they also did a beat on the revenue side by 0.33 million. And I think the stock dipped after guiding wider than expected losses, which is expected. These type of companies, they got to outcompete and put more money into R&D, and it's okay to show some loss at this early stage. And CEO basically says they're starting on a strong demand globally. That's good to know. And as you see here, their earnings or revenue was 15% increase year over year. That's good. And as you scan through your nice gross margin, 75%. And they're also announcing a partnership with Amazon AWS with this new product called Logic Cloud SCIM. So overall, looks like it's doing nicely. They're competing, or they're actually partnering with the bigger players like Amazon AWS. From an outlook perspective, looks like they guided around similar type of outlook here. They did 15% year over year. They're guiding for from 13 to 15% growth, which is kind of sort of in line outlook. As you scan through here, they're also telling next year they'll be around 15 to 16%. I mean, this is what in line revenue growth for next year. So overall, looks like this company is doing pretty well. There is nothing negative about this company at this point. From a numbers perspective, company is doing the right thing. Wall Street freaked out because they're guiding for a wider than expected loss, which is expected for these type of companies. So from an insider trading perspective, as you can see here, insiders own about 3% of the company, and institutions own a lot of this company, 62.5. Insiders are selling the stock, as you can see here, 23.82%, and institutions are buying, a little bit slowly, as you can see here. And a lot of these insiders, like, say, a chief revenue officer, CFO, looks like they're all selling a little bit. Looks like they're all option exercise type sales. Amount is low, as you can 67,000, 72,000. I think somewhere here CEO sold some at 2.11 million shares. I think anytime insiders sell, that's typically not a great indication. That's why stock is kind of trying to search the direction. But I think it's pretty normal for CEO and others to sell from time to time. They also need some money for to carry out their life, which is expected. That's why company is taking some short-term beating here. I would buy some of this company at this time and hold for a while. So Sumo Logic, what should I do now? If you look at the company here, revenue increased 15% year over year. It's partnering with Amazon AWS, which is an industry leader, and they're coming up with a new product for hybrid threat protection. Everybody wants to really look at the threat and address the threat, and this company's dashboard is really helping companies to really understand what's going on and get a great insight about their company and their traffic and utilization. And Sumo Logic named Visionary in 2021 Gartner Quadrant. I think that's a great recognition for this company. Stock is fairly valued right now, ready to bounce back. As you saw in the technical chart, stock has not done much in last 1 month. It's really trying to search for the direction. I think right now, at this point, I feel like stock is going to make a comeback from here, and if you hold for a while, you'll be rewarded nicely. So I would be buying this company on any pullback, and really hold the stock for a while. With that, thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.